everyone and welcome to this week's and indeed last week's all-in-one weekly reading wrap-up. I'm actually filming this on the Friday just gone for you, as it would be now. So it's kind of midway through the next week and I'm just hoping I don't finish any books between now and Sunday when this goes up, to be honest. I don't think I will anyway because I'm reading some chunkers. But yeah, I've only got 2 books to talk to you about today. I've also finished a colouring book image, but I've left it all the way over there and I'm thinking it's not worth getting up to go and get it, so I'll just show you that next week. But I have been doing some colouring too, which has helped me make some good progress with my current audiobook. But anyway, enough waffle. The first book I want to talk to you about today is The Little Book of Bob by James Bowen, and I gave this 4 stars. This was exactly what I kind of expected it to be, just a short, sweet, quick, helpful for my reading goal kind of book that just kind of helped refresh how much I love Bob in my head. I really do love Bob. He's the most adorable and intelligent cat. I also find James quite inspirational on the journey he's been through from being a drug addict on the streets to where he obviously is now, which is owning a home, releasing books, having a successful film under his belt, you know, all that usual stuff that we now know about these two. So, as I said, this was exactly what I wanted from it. You've got sections about friendship, about, you know, like thinking before you speak, picking your battles, cute little illustrations of Bob. And it's just all about how James has learned things through having Bob. So he's learned basically just like loads of little life tips that we can all take from just looking at examples that he sets throughout with Bob. So there'll be like an example of something about how something's happening in his life to do with Bob, and then he'll kind of relate it to how it can help your own life. It's just a really cute little read. It's not anything special, and to be honest, it almost feels like a cash grab because they know right now that it doesn't matter what books they pump out, if it's got Bob on the cover, it's going to sell well. And that's kind of a little bit of a shame in my opinion, because this could probably have been so much more, which is why I gave it 4 stars rather than 5. But all the same, it was a really cute read. I'm glad I've got it. I'm glad that I've got a physical copy for my shelf. And if you're a Bob fan, I recommend picking it up, but it's nothing special otherwise, really. The other book I finished this week was my audiobook, and that was The Power by Naomi Alderman. I gave this 3 stars because I had a very love-hate relationship with this book. First of all, I want to say I have every intention of rereading this book as a physical copy because I struggled with the audio a bit. Some of the voices annoyed me, some of the accents annoyed me. It just generally didn't flow very well as audiobook in my opinion, and I felt like I lost some of the potential love for the story that I expected to have because I went into this book expecting to love it. So that also impacted my enjoyment level. Basically, early on, I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed learning about how women were starting to have this like unknown power in their hands, and it was all really interesting and mysterious, and I was really into it. And then I just sort of started drifting off midway through and I just wasn't hooked. It was okay. It just didn't feel like it was the book I was expecting almost. And I do feel like that is partly down to the audiobook. So at some point in the probably distant future, I will reread this, just not on audio. And that's all I can really say about it. I was just quite indifferent to it towards the end. I thought the ending was really weak as well, which didn't help. If there'd been an impactful ending, I would have been like, oh. But as it was, no, I just, yeah. This wasn't what I hoped it would be, basically. So yeah, that's all I read in the last 2 weeks, basically. It's mainly because my current physical book, while I am making absolutely excellent progress, I am on page 387, it's just such a chunker. I mean, like, I could kill someone with this book. It's so big. It's so uncomfortable to sit reading. I've made it to part 2, and as you can see, that looks like I've read a book in itself, quite frankly, and I've got all this to go yet. So I'm hoping to get this finished before the next wrap-up because I am really into it, actually. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I enjoyed Lord of Shadows, which is progress, because I thought that Lord of Shadows was a bit pants compared to the rest of the Shadowhunter books, basically. But yeah, this is taking a lot of my time. Another book taking a lot of my time is my current Kindle read, but I do have a physical copy to hold up and show you here, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I'm just under halfway through this. I've not picked it up much this week because with reading such a chunker of a fantasy downstairs, I then get up to bed and think, I don't feel like now diving into a hardcore classic as well. I just want to zone out a bit, so I've not picked it up many times this week. But again, I'm hoping to finish this ideally in the next few days, hopefully. It'd be nice to not be reading two such demanding books because I am now behind on my reading goal for the year already. How often do I have a 900-page fantasy and a classic that I've hated in the past on the go? So there's that. My current audiobook, I'm currently listening to Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And considering I picked this up last year and sort of put it back down again because I wasn't into it and I wasn't feeling it, I'm having such a different experience this time. I'm absolutely loving it. I've only listened to about a quarter of it so far. I'm into it this time and I will be finishing it, and I don't think it's going to take me long, to be honest. I might have finished it by next week's wrap up too. So keep your eyes out later on this week for my February TBR, because that is going to be letting you know all the books I'm planning on picking up soon, which if you've been watching my weekly hauls, you'll also have a good idea of what sort of books are going to be on there, because I'm planning on trying to keep up with books that I've been hauling. That's the idea. I hope I can stick to it. If you've got any comments about the books I've been reading down below, please let me know. Also let me know what you have been reading. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me if you want to see more book views and other bookish content from me, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!